Good morning. Good early morning to you. Hey, give you a second to log on. It's early. As you can see, I still got my robe on. I'm in California. So it's not even 8. But I want to share something with you really quickly. I think is going to make a lot of sense and prayerfully be edifying to you today, particularly as we get ready to go into Sunday. Good morning. Good morning to each of you. Good morning. Not going to be on forever. Got to get dressed, still in my pajamas and throwing the cap because I had sleep hair. But I want to share some thoughts with you today. I think will be edifying. I think that they're going to help you as it relates to just the way that we do things now, the way that we consume things spiritually. So I want to just give a few more people an opportunity to come on, and I'm going to go right into it. And then I want to have a word of prayer for you. I will say that I think that we're coming into a time of revival, and not necessarily revival in this overly religious sense, but I mean revival because to a certain degree we need to be revived. When the world changed, how we do things change, how we engage spiritually change, how we connect with God in many ways has changed. And I think that there's going to be not simply a restoration to how we used to connect with God, but I think a greater appreciation. But here's what God spoke to me and my wife in the middle of the night as we were up talking and, praying for our family and praying for our churches. I think that because of the pandemic and because of the way that we have not been able to engage in our congregations the way that we used to. And of course, we've got online service and many are doing service again, slightly different. But I think that over the course of the year, being moved away from how we used to worship, I think has affected many people. And, like, for example, even in our own home, for the most part, we are experiencing our online service and sometimes we're distracted. We might be eating breakfast when we're doing it. Or we might be doing that in the middle of, juggling, kind of half listening or half experiencing. When you think about what the worship experience used to be like, think about it, man. You would get up, you would get dressed, depending on your culture, your style, you put on your Sunday best, whether that was a suit and tie or ripped jeans and a t-shirt, if you doing it one LA style. But you would prepare yourself. You would get up in the morning, you'd be excited. You would prepare yourself, you would prepare your heart, and then you would come with the expectation of worshiping God in this setting and receiving from God in an environment that was conducive for that, right? And we would all have encounters because we weren't distracted and because we were focused and because we had prepared our hearts and that overnight, literally that type of experience overnight was taken away from us. And so we said, cool, we got live stream, we got live service, we got YouTube, we got online channels, we got all this other thing. And so we shifted and watch this and ultimately had lesser spiritual experiences. Now you're like, wait, PT, what are you talking about? I've been blessed. Yes, you have. I completely get it. But when you take the fact that you didn't drive, you didn't get in your car and drive, you didn't hop in the shower and pray, you didn't get your spirit right, or aligned, so to speak, to prepare. Trust me, the spiritual experience, although impactful and empowering, God will never leave us without a grace to grow. Still not quite the same. And I get it. We had to do it. You know what I mean? Because of the pandemic and because of the reality. I mean, I think we're encroaching upon 500,000 people dead in LA. Oh, don't get me wrong. The pandemic was real. You know what I mean? And it is real. And prayerfully, we're moving toward coming back to a healthy place. But what I'm getting at is I think, man, that perhaps we lost something. And for some of you specifically, it may look like, struggle for you. Maybe your bouts with anxiety and depression, if you look back over the year, have increased. Not to mention, watch this, not to mention this level of spiritual engagement being taken away at a time when we need spiritual engagement more than ever as we consider all the things that are taking place. And so that was quite frankly, like, for us, maybe you guys have been seeing this already, but for us, that was a real, awakening for us as we thought about our own family, as we thought about our spiritual family. And what you don't know is behind the scenes, we've been working on, technology that will enhance this experience significantly, until we can, move into different things and new ways to connect with people. But you know what it is, what's stronger than technology and programs and all the other things that we're working on to make our experience real, or even more real and more beneficial. What's more powerful than that is a mindset. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about real quick today. I think that, so what we've implemented in our house is, hey, starting tomorrow, we're not coming to church in our pajamas. You know what I mean? We're going to wake up. We're going to, shower, get dressed early in the morning. You know what I mean? Grab our Bible and walk into whatever room, maybe it's a theater, whatever room we're going to walk into and worship God together. And we're not going to be spectators. And that's what I want to say to you. Small group is in the house. Oh, great. Small group is going to help majorly. I saw somebody said they signed up for TPH LA small group. But what's going to help majorly is, what I was getting at, we're not going to be a spectator, man. We're going to come in there. We're going to worship. We're going to get there early because now, it might take you 5 minutes to log on. Come on, family. It might take you 5 minutes to log on. And so we're going to get there 5 minutes early. We're going to get up. We're going to get dressed. We're going to present ourselves to God. Like we're going to have an encounter. And if you have to do this, in your car or you find you a quiet corner or whatever, put your headphones on. But we are going to worship the Lord. We're not going to Netflix God. You know what I mean? We're not going to Netflix the worship experience. God bless Netflix. We love Netflix. But on Sunday, I want you to join me. And I got a word. I came out of writing hibernation to get this word to you for Sunday. So it's going to bless you crazy. But let's get up. Let's get to whatever device we're going to use, 5-10 minutes early. Let's set it up. Let's get dressed, put on your Sunday best. I don't care, but let's really, I know it's not about clothes, but now we have to do things to augment the reality of the experience, right? Now we got to do things. Okay. So I'm not going to be in the room full of a whole bunch of people. So what was some of the things? What was the mentality? Okay. So maybe the mentality is now I'm dressed, maybe the mentality is, I'm up, I'm clothed. Maybe the mentality is I'm not sitting back saying, man, Roosevelt is killing that song or Whitney is killing that song or Elliot is killing that song, but I'm killing that song, right? And that's the awesome thing is you can be as loud as you want to, singing how amazing Jesus is. And if that's not necessarily your gift, nobody will know. You got to look at the benefits of this situation. But family, join me. I think that there's going to be a renewal that comes to you as we come to church, as we go to church. Remember, we are the church. It was never about the building. You've heard that said a zillion times, but it's true. We are the church. And so as we have these corporate experiences, I want us to be I'm going to the 7 o'clock service because that's 10 o'clock service on the East Coast, but I'm going to get up. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to get my word. I'm going to worship when they worship. I'm not going to just get up and log in when I feel like it. It's not Netflix. Netflix, that's how you get down on Netflix. Church, no, man, because there's this corporate thing. See, here's the thing. You could It's like when you're on your Peloton or your Hydro or whatever, you get on and you're on with people and in that context, you're competing with people. Obviously this is different, but man, let's have powerful, intentional, disciplined worship experience. And I believe there's going to be a greater glory. And I believe that things that we may have lost, that you didn't even know you lost. Sometimes you lose things along the way and you don't realize you lost it until you rediscover it. I believe that's going to happen. There's going to be a rediscovery of spiritual vitality and renewal. And, I encourage you, maybe get with a few people and you guys go to church together, get in your car. If you got to pull out the driveway and come back in the driveway or whatever, do whatever. But let's have this mentality that I'm going to church. How you guys feel about that? Yeah? How you feel about that? Take a minute and just let me know if you feel like that's a good idea. Nothing changes with the exception of your mentality and your preparation for the experience. You're creating an environment for God to move. So, man, this is something, again, me and Sarah, we were just up in the middle of the night, just talking about family and life and ministry and things. And we were praying and we realized that it is quite possible that the experience has been lessened, not because the building was taken away, but because the mentality and the disciplines were taken away. So let's get with it. Tomorrow's going to be amazing. I love you so much, man. We're praying each and every day about how to bring connection to you and the Lord in new ways, especially during these times. I'm excited. I'm excited for Easter. I'm excited for incredible things to come. And I'm excited about this mentality and this discipline and what it's going to do for you, for your family, for your children, and parents. This is the last thing I'll say. Parents, you got to lead the charge in this. If you have kids, if you study the scripture, the Bible talks about how these laws and truths and wisdom and principles that God was given to the elders. He said, I want you to teach this to your children. And I want you to, to sit down at the table with them and talk to them. And I think that it's our responsibility as parents, to, curate these experiences, lead the way, lead by example, so that our children can get what they need, because God knows they need it. We don't know what they're going through, what they're facing, what they're experiencing. More time online, less time in a children's church capacity context setting. So we got to be their pastors. I think parents ought to be their children's first pastors. Anyway, that's all I got. I love you guys so much. We love you. We're praying for you. See you tomorrow. Dressed. Come on. Dressed, looking good, smelling good, however you do what you do. And I believe that if we employ these practices and these principles and this mentality and these disciplines, we're going to experience some next level spiritual renewal. All right. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom to my Jewish brothers and sisters, as they would say it. Rest up today, because tomorrow we're going to worship.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.